Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and we're back with another movie review. If you saw my last video, you know that I happened to see both Good Fortune and The Black Phone 2 back to back. The review for Good Fortune is up, so be sure to catch that video right after this one. Remember to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe as we head towards our goal of getting 1,000 subscribers. Now that the introductions are out of the way, let's jump right into the review of The Black Phone 2. Alright, so let me just be straight up with you guys. This movie sucks. It takes everything that made the first movie so good and completely chews it up and shits it out. This movie gives a full backslap in the face to the fans of the first one, and not in a kinky, fun kind of way. To sum up the story quickly, it takes place a few years after the first movie ended. Finn, now fully confident in himself but still reliving the torment he faced at the hands of the Grabber, mentally decides to accompany his sister Gwen to a Christian youth camp that their mom used to volunteer at. After the unexpected return of the Grabber, Gwen mysteriously has visions of past murders. She realizes that it's up to her to help find the missing victims of the Grabber and put their souls to rest, all in an effort to stop the Grabber for good. This time around, Finn's character takes the secondary role as his sister, Gwen, shifts focus to the main character, with her psychic ability serving as the catalyst for the Grabber's return and possible defeat. Alright, so let's talk about what works in this film. A couple of things are nice. For example, the opening scene is a callback to the first movie, where this time we see that Finn has grown and is no longer the kid being bullied. This time he's the one fighting. It shows that the events of the last film did have a somewhat positive effect, and it's good to see that his character progresses into the next film. Other than that, my only positives come in the form of some good editing techniques. In terms of editing, one thing that I really liked is how when the movie switches from dream to reality, it's easy to tell which one is which, because the dream world has this very retro film filter thing going on that visually distinguishes which world the characters are in. It was a great way to keep the audience from guessing if what we're seeing was real or not. The next positive comes in the pacing of the story. We kind of just get right into it. There's very little time for world building and downtime, so it's nice that the movie isn't just stringing you along to get to the good parts. Lastly, what I can say on a positive note is that I think the movie is cast well. A few of the actors from the first film reprised their roles in addition to some new faces, and everyone does their job well. It's just the story as a whole that doesn't serve them properly. Alright, so unfortunately I can't talk about any of the negatives of this movie without mentioning some spoilers. So if you haven't seen either of the Black Phone movies, then skip to this time on screen to hear my overall thoughts of the movie. For the rest of you who have seen it or don't care about spoilers, let's talk about what I did not like about this film. Okay, so to quickly wrap up the ending of the first film, we learn that Finn is caught by and eventually defeats the Grabber with the help of his dead victims. Finn kills the Grabber by breaking his neck, and his sister Gwen is able to locate the bodies of the victims and save her brother through her psychic dreams. That's basically the plot in a nutshell, and always where my negatives with the story starts. So the first negative I have with the movie is that there is never any explanation as to where her psychic ability comes from. We're told her mother had a similar gift, but what I mean is that there's never any explanation as to when and where the gift comes from, or if it can ever be controlled. We know that Gwen has the gift, and clearly Finn does too, if he's able to communicate with the dead kids, but the movie makes no effort into explaining their power. Is their bloodline magical? Did their mother worship some divine entity? We get no answers, and that should matter because it's such a big part of the story and such a big part of the character's development. And furthermore, another thing that I thought was kind of dumb is that while both Finn and Gwen experience unexplained knowledge of events through the use of their gift, it is shown time and time again that her dreams have real-world implications, yet some characters, even amongst themselves, still brush her off as being crazy, and they continue to act as if what they've experienced isn't real, and they constantly deny their ability even when it's clear that they have powers. Like the Grabber is literally cutting her up, slicing and dicing, picking her up and throwing her across the room. Everyone can see it and even interacts with her, but they still act as though she's some crazy girl with strange dreams. Like, why do that? Another huge part of the movie, which is kind of mind-blowing that I don't understand, is that they don't even explain how the Grabber has returned in the first place. He literally just comes back to torment Finn without any explanation, and he has somehow come back with powers, and he's like a mix of Freddy Krueger. He's able to invade the dreams of Gwen and influence and hurt her and others in the real world. This is what really threw me off. Like seriously, everything the Grabber does is completely unoriginal at all. He is a mix of like a lame Freddy Krueger and Pennywise, except this time he's a lot less scary and doesn't actually kill anyone. And I mean that. No one dies in the movie except for the people in flashback. And another thing is that no one in the movie can even actually see him except for Gwen, which makes him even more silly. This movie is the opposite of scary, and it isn't even funny at all. The movie tries to throw a little bit of humor in there by giving Gwen her like overly foul mouth from the last movie, but it kind of just stops there. She says a couple really nasty things and that's it. I just don't understand why this is even labeled as a scary movie. Not 1 ounce of this movie was even remotely creepy, and that was a huge letdown given how good the first one is. In the first movie, you get a real good sense as how deranged and unpredictable the Grabber is. In this one, you can literally pinpoint to the exact moment he will show up, like to the frame. Also, why are these films set in the late 70s to mid 80s? I feel like they only did that as a way to eliminate modern technology from destroying the plot, or just to simply justify the nostalgic film filter that they used earlier. I'm not sure, but that was another question that the movie left me with. And I'm sorry if my thoughts sound all over the place. This movie is a mess, and I've got to let you know why. Alright, and lastly, while I did praise the growth of Finn's character from the first movie to this one, that's where the character growth stops. No one grows in any kind of way in this film. They learn new information, experience a new threat, but don't change as a result of it. I feel like I just watched a day in their life of these people and got literally nothing out of it. I wish movies were scary again, and not just a jump scare galore, but like actual terror. It's sad to say that this movie did absolutely nothing for me. To be honest, I wish I didn't see it. The first film is leagues better than this, and it really disappoints me because I actually like the first one a lot. When I heard that Scott Derrickson was back to direct, I was hyped, as he did such a great job with the first film on all fronts. It had great editing, solid acting, and told a really unique story. The Black Phone 2 just feels like a waste of time. An idea born out of what can only be seen as financial desperation. If they ever do make a third film, then they have to really do something unique to make it worth watching. The Grabber has already cemented himself as an icon, and while that's fine, his legacy as a whole probably won't remain if his movies aren't good enough. But that's it for my review of The Black Phone 2. I gave you guys a few positives and quite a few negatives, but I want you to form your own opinion. Let me know what you guys think about the movie in the comments, and be sure to leave a like on the video. I'll be back with another review very soon, so be on the lookout for that. November is going to be a good month for movies this year, so I can't wait to share my thoughts with you guys on what I've seen. Until next time, I'll see you guys soon.